Hello, welcome to Unbound Chapters. My name is Elsie, and I will be talking about how boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. So I believe boundaries are one of the most understood things women are taught about. Many of us were raised to believe that having boundaries make it difficult, cold, selfish, or even unloving. So before we go any further, I want to say this clearly and gently. Boundaries are not punishment. They are protection. Okay? They are not walls built to keep people out. They are lines that help you stay intact. This video is for the woman who didn't grow up being allowed to say no. The woman who was praised for being accommodating, patient, forgiving, and understanding, even when it cost her well-being. If you were taught that love means access, that loyalty means endurance, and that good women don't make others uncomfortable, then of course, boundaries will feel unnatural to you. Many women don't struggle with boundaries because they are unclear. They struggle because boundaries threaten the roles they were trained to play. When you start setting boundaries, people may say you've changed. But what they usually mean is you are no longer available in the way you used to be. And that can feel frightening, even if your sense of worth was tied to being needed, chosen, or approved of. For women who have experienced emotional control, religious pressure, or long-term invalidation, boundaries often come with a lot of guilt. Not because they are wrong, but because they are unfamiliar. You might feel selfish for resting, guilty for saying no, anxious for not explaining yourself enough. That guilt is not a sign that you are doing something bad. Rather, it's a sign that you are doing something new. Boundaries don't require anger. They don't require justification. And they don't require permission. A boundary can sound as quiet as, I'm not comfortable with that. I need time. That doesn't work for me anymore. It can also be a no. You don't owe anyone access to your body, your energy, your emotions, or your time, simply because you used to give it. One of the hardest lessons many women learn is this. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries will often resist your boundaries the most. That doesn't mean your boundaries are wrong. It means they are effective. Boundaries reveal who respects you and who only tolerated you when you were compliant. And that can be very painful because sometimes the people who push back the hardest are the ones who hoped will understand. They are the ones who we hope will understand us. But clarity often comes with loss. Not because you are losing something good, but because you are no longer shrinking to keep it. So please understand, boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about controlling your own response, your availability, and your participation. You cannot force someone to respect you. Never. But you can decide what you will engage with. And sometimes the most powerful boundary is silence. Not the silent treatment, but the refusal to over-explain. If you find yourself constantly explaining your boundaries, negotiating your needs, or justifying your discomfort, a boundary does not need concessions. It needs commitment. Healing often looks like disappointing people who are comfortable with your self-abandonment. And if you are feeling lonely, as you begin to honor yourself, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Loneliness does not mean you made the wrong choice. It often means you are between versions of yourself. The old version who survived by accommodating, and the emerging version who survives by protecting her peace. Boundaries are not about becoming difficult. They are about becoming honest. Honest about what drains you. Honest about what you can no longer tolerate. Honest about what you need to feel safe. And safety is not luxury. It is a requirement for healing. If you are learning boundaries later in life, please be gentle with yourself. Remember, you are not behind. You are brave. So this channel, Unbound Chapters, exists to remind you that you don't need to earn rest, justify distance, or explain your healing. You are allowed to choose peace, even if others don't understand it. Boundaries are not punishments. They are protection. If this resonated with you, you are welcome to stay. Subscribe if you are choosing clarity over confusion. This is Unbound Chapters, and the name is Elsie. You are allowed to take space without an apology. Thank you.